Hello, you are watching another video from fantasyfootballscout.co.uk. Today I'm joined by Neale for our regular press conference call where we look at the latest lineup and team news ahead of the forthcoming deadline. Neale, welcome.
How you doing, Joe? All right?
Yeah, good. A bit confused by a lot of the press conferences though, so I'm hoping you're going to be able to help me out, particularly with Arsenal. Emery's been saying lots of things this week. What does it mean for our players? So he's talking about various things with his strikers, various formations. What's he been saying, and what's it mean? And while you're explaining that, I've actually put up a still from our team news page, which is who we think is going to possibly start this weekend. So fire away, Neale.
Yeah, you probably would have seen a lot of scaremongering going on last night on Twitter and in the press as well about Lacazette and Aubameyang not starting together. But what Emery actually said is that he wouldn't start with two central forwards together, which doesn't obviously necessarily translate into Aubameyang and Lacazette not being on the pitch at the same time. Because we've seen a lot in pre-season that Aubameyang has played on the left to accommodate Lacazette centrally. By the same token, that doesn't necessarily mean that they both will play on this weekend, because he has talked in terms of 4-2-3-1s and 4-1-4-1s and 4-3-3s. So we're not entirely sure what formation he's going to go with. Added to that mix as well was Alex Iwobi last weekend, who I thought was really good on the left. So we've predicted that Lacazette won't start, but it's not gospel that he definitely won't.
But if he did start, it's likely that it would be in with Aubameyang possibly on a wing.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the only real way to accommodate both of them playing under Emery's tactics would be for Aubameyang to go wide on the left and Lacazette to go into the middle, which would obviously, of course, lead to Iwobi being dropped, and then Mkhitaryan obviously on the other flank.
So do we think that Mkhitaryan is safe? I have a vested interest. I swooped for him last night. Please say he's going to start.
I would never go that far.
No.
If you'll see in our team news, we use words very carefully, like could or may or might. But I would expect so. Yeah, I would expect so. After last weekend, I mean, goal and assist return. Ozil's the one I would be worried about if I owned him. He was pretty, it was a middling performance. He got hooked for Aaron Ramsey in the second half. Although Emery was quite complimentary about Ozil afterwards, saying he was pleased with his work rate and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll be quietly confident with Mkhitaryan starting, I think.
Okay, so if Özil was dropped, would it automatically be Ramsey in that kind of more attacking midfield role?
I would think so. Ramsey could play either in the 4-3-3 in the middle with possibly Guendouzi and Torreira, or he could play in the 4-2-3-1, sort of in the hole behind Aubameyang or Lacazette, whoever's up front.
But do you get the impression that Ramsey is, for whatever reason, is just simply not first choice at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, as I think I mentioned in the lineup lessons on Monday, he spent more time on the bench than he has on the pitch, even though he started one of the games. It's still early days. It's 2 games in, and I'm not sure Emery knows his best system yet either. But I get that sort of impression that, I think Ozil is his man, regardless of the form he's currently displaying.
Okay.
So I would think, Ramsey possibly on the bench this weekend.
Okay, so we've got some other, obviously some good fixtures coming up. There's a particularly tricky one to call, Manchester United against Spurs. Now Mourinho has had quite a few injuries. Did he give any indication if anyone's coming back?
Yeah, quite a few standout names actually. A couple that I didn't think would be ready for consideration this early. So Alexis Sanchez is the standout one, which we did think he would be back for Monday night. But Nemanja Matic and Antonio Valencia as well have been thrown into the mix. They're back in training with the squad. I don't know how you pronounce his name, Diogo Dalot, I think the new right back from Portugal. He's back in training as well, but he probably won't be ready to start. So yeah, that really confuses matters in every position really.
Yeah, I was reading today about Luke Shaw, that he's had a foot injury, but it seems quite minor. We seen some stuff on Twitter. Ben Dinnery, who knows about such things, and also he's been quoting Rob Dawson of ESPN. Rob Dawson's usually pretty reliable. He knows his Manchester club, so he's saying that the suggestion is that the left back's been managed carefully in training this week and should be fine to face Spurs, barring a setback. So there's hope there for sure, owners, by the sounds of it. But you never know, because all sorts of things go out on Twitter, and you never know. But what about Chelsea? We did get some sort of news about Hazard this week from Sarri.
Yeah, this is quite interesting, this. I mean, he has been building up fitness gradually over the past couple of weeks. He's had a couple of substitute appearances and 2 assists within that time as well. But this morning's press conference, Sarri said that both Hazard and Kovacic will be ready to start for around about 50-60 minutes. Perhaps not ready to play the full 90 yet, but if he's talking in those terms, sort of between 50 and 60 minutes, that would indicate a start. I mean, obviously it doesn't necessarily translate that he will start. I would say Hazard's the more likely of the two to play, with possibly Willian at risk, given Pedro's good start of the season. So yeah, I would be quietly confident Hazard starting on Sunday, given Sarri's words this morning.
So barring any setback, that looks quite promising for Hazard starting for the matches that people really want him in for, which is those great home matches against Bournemouth and Cardiff. That does sound quite promising for them, but it looks like he could be hooked possibly even before the 60-minute mark.
Exactly. So even if he does start on Sunday, then it's very unlikely that he'll last the full 90 minutes. When he could still do damage within that time, as you've seen in the first 2 weeks of the season. But Newcastle away isn't a great fixture for Chelsea. They've won there in the last 5 seasons. So it's not perhaps the standout fixture that you'd think on paper. So yeah, definitely game week 4 and 5. I mean, I'm personally looking to get him in then, and it'd be interesting to see how Kovacic fits into that system as well. Whether your man Kant is slightly more withdrawn now because of his introduction. Just
can't hold him back. He's a box to box midfielder these days.
He is, yeah.
Okay, what about Man City though? It's going to be a regular question. Any hints of Pep rotation?
Well, this is where I'll struggle a bit, because both Manchester City and Tottenham press conferences notoriously are quite hard to get anything out of, and half of Guardiola's, as it was last week, is embargoed until later tonight. So there's nothing much coming out of that.
Okay, so we've got to pay attention tonight for Twitter, and possibly take anything written by certain Guardian journalists with a pinch of salt, perhaps. I mean, not to put the lad down, but just be cautious with anything you see about City. It seems possible, would I be right in thinking it's possible that Sterling and Mahrez, or at least one of them, will be getting a start, given they were rested at game week 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard task trying to predict Guardiola's teams on our team news section. So yeah, first week of the season it was a 4-2-3-1 against Arsenal. That was the away game. Last week to a 3-5-2. So yeah, it's a difficult one to call. Given that they're away from home and Wolves play with a wing-back system, so there's plenty of space on the flanks. I've chanced my arm and sort of predicted a 4-2-3-1 with maybe Sterling and Mahrez back in the side to exploit the space on the flanks. But it's a complete shot in the dark. It's an educated guess. But you would never be confident about any start other than perhaps Edison in goal for Manchester City. Maybe Mendy as well at this point, but I think Alba's going to be after Champions League starts as well.
Okay. Now, what about Liverpool as well? I heard that the best defender in the world, possibly the universe, may in fact be back. Is this true?
Is this Dejan Lovren by any chance?
It is, yes.
He's not back. No, he's he's still working on his humility, I think.
Really?
He's out, definitely out this weekend, and Klopp seemed to suggest that he'll probably be out for the Leicester game as well in game week 4.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So after which is the international break, so he should be.
I was hoping, because he's quite a cut price route into that Liverpool defence. I was hoping he might have, being the best defender in the world, also have the best kind of resilience and healing powers. Okay, I mean that's a lot of the main kind of the key teams covered. But what else have we heard? Any other kind of players that might be coming back from injury, or any unexpected injury news emerged today?
Well, I listened to Roy Hodgson's press conference earlier on today, and he said that Max Meyer, who I think's only had 7 minutes of football this season, is ready to start.
Ooh.
Now,
who's at risk then?
Well, I would think possibly Jeffrey Schlupp, who's an out of position defender at the moment for Palace. So basically, I mean, Max Meyer's not a wide player or anything like that. He is ostensibly an attacking midfielder, but the last season at Schalke, he played central midfield. So this could have a domino effect. He could play in the centre, and MacArthur could move out to the flank, as he did last season, which would put one of Schlupp or maybe Townsend at risk. Or Meyer could play behind Benteke, and then Zaha would be out to the left wing. Again, speculation at the moment, and just because he's ready to start doesn't mean that he necessarily will. And Hodgson also tipped up his other new signings, Cheku Kayati and Jordan Neale as well. So Palace's lineup perhaps not quite as settled as we think, even though they've been unchanged for the first 2 games of the season.
And now Wan-Bissaka is suspended just for this one match, I believe, but obviously strike Obi Wan-Bissaka down and he will come back stronger, so we're looking forward to him in game week 4. But is it a pretty much straight swap, Joel Ward coming in for him, do we think?
It should be. Ward was the one who came on Monday night after Wan-Bissaka got sent off. They've also got Martin Kelly, who was name checked in the press conference earlier today.
Oh.
But I would think Joel Ward. I mean, he's the one who was sort of tussling for the right back position in pre-season with Wan-Bissaka. So yeah, I would think Ward, as an owner of Wan-Bissaka myself, I hope he doesn't do too well, and I hope he's back in the team come game week 4.
Sure we will, and obviously we'll find out next week as well from those latest press conferences. But for now, Neale, thanks a lot.